ומה שכתוב בכדי שיהיה בחינס גילוי זה היו צריכים לאכול מצה חולו. And this, the Mamar says that in order to have this revelation, you have to eat matzah. Now there's two concepts in matzah. Matzah aleph shehi kodem chatzos. The first matzah is before midnight. Tzricha shimor. You have to guard it. Ushmartem es hamatzos chulu. You have to guard the matzos. Shlotov alidei chimutz chas v'shalom. That it shouldn't come to leavening. Hagba visnasus chulu. To be lifted up and exalted. Ein bepardes erach shmira. Then look in Pardes, where it gives the Kabbalistic definitions of Shmira, Yitzricha Shmira, Shesviva Klippa Chulu. Then it needs guarding, because the Klippa surrounds it. Vayim Bezor Chelik Aleph Petchilasu Al Pasuk Kishoshana Bin HaChochim. Look in the beginning of Zohar, where it talks about like the rose amongst the thorns. Plesar Tevin L'Sachra La L'Knesses Yisrael. That there's 13 letters, or 13 words, that surround the fount of the souls of Israel, and to guard her from all sides. That since it is amongst the thorns, therefore specifically towards her shines the light of Keser. That is the 13 parts of the beard, in order to guard her from the external forces. Look in Mikdash Melech and the explanations of the Zohar that there concerning the concept of that the end is tied into the beginning, Keser and Malchus. That it's compared to the light of the sun and the air that's right next to the earth, that it reflects off the earth and is hotter next to the earth than in the middle of the air. So the heat is closest to the sun and then next to the ground. And in another place it says that guarding is the Mishnah. That in the toiling in the oral Torah, that is the guarding. Because within the Mishnah, within the Torah Shebal Peh, we have the revelation of Hashem's supernal will. So that's, like we said, the Gilui Keser into Malchus, the Shmira. V'gam ki al yidei esik Hatorah mafrid hatov min hara. And also because through the study of Torah, one separates the bad from the good. When you clarify the halacha. Like I saw it brings the pasuk lishmor v'lasos to guard it, and then another concept of shmira from above. The birchas kohanim in general is a gilui keser. Look what's brought about how Pesach is called the night of guardings. That we're guarded. And that we guard the matzah and Hashem guards us. But Parshas Truma, Kuf Lamed Aleph Aleph, V'yuven al pi ma shekasav b'dibur hamas l'reach shemanecha chulu. Chelik Gimel, Kav Beis Aleph, Tzadik Beis. And there's also in the verse about the korbanos that you should guard it to bring me. And we can further say the concept of guarding in another way. On the verse that you should guard my Shabbos is that since Shabbos is a gift that's given from above, but we need to guard it, not to lose this gift, God forbid. Is a kilkul by some kind of blemish, by messing up, like falsehood and haughtiness. I'm not sure why that you lose the matana of Shabbos from those things and not breaking Shabbos. And similarly, we can say with the concept of by the Gan Eden, to work it and to guard it. That to work it is the positive commandments, and to guard it is the negative commandments, like he says by the matana, that you don't want to have a kilgul, so that's the shmira. And it's known that through the negative commandments you're able to draw down a concept, an aspect that's you're not able to actively awaken or draw upon at all. Through the positive, ukli, and through making a vessel, only from guarding, keeping away from the opposing. When that's the earth that's planted with the knot, the land that's not planted. The fact that we went out into the desert in a negative place that's not planted, that's like the guarding. And similarly is the concept of this first matzah before chatzos, this guarded matzah, that in truth it's a concept of a gift from above, drawing down from above, to jump from one level to the next, that we're not ready for, that we weren't ready on our own. And arousal from above on its own. Only that we need to guard it from blemishes and messing up. And also through this guarding we are able to draw down this very high level. That through the Shmira itself we draw it down also. And the concept is it says that he doesn't slumber or sleep, the guardian of Israel, the Shomer of Israel. So again, this is the Shmira of Knesset Yisrael in a Pakicha Datika Kadisha, the open eye of Atik, that there's no left side in this Atik. He only has an eye for us. And therefore this is drawn down through matzah specifically. Now the concept of in a pakich is also something brought by tashlich. Now it says on the bottom that these next lines are brought from the second caveat. That this is drawn down through the matzah specifically, because leavening and yeast are a concept of the strictnesses, which is not the case with the matzah. It's a concept of kindness. And what are we guarding at? What are we guarding? It's guarding that it shouldn't come to leavening and strictnesses. We want to keep the kindness. So because there's no strictnesses and left side on that level, therefore, if we want to keep the level of atik, we have to guard it so that there should only be kindness. Since there's no left side, and atik vayin brabos, ekev rish tzadik beis al pasuk v'shamar havai lecha ushmartem es hamitzvos. Look what's brought in Midrash Rabbah that connects the two concepts of Hashem will guard for you, I guess the beast and the chesed, and you have to guard the mitzvahs. We can also awaken to the concept of the wine that's guarded, meshumar, in the grapes from the 6 days of creation. It's a very high level as well. And the concept of Shmira connected to the Gilui of Lasilava. Bepardes erech matzah perish shmura, and in Pardes where it talks about matzah, and it says, what is matzah shmura? It's alomar mekushetes. That is to say that it's decorated, bejeweled, mamtenes labaila, and is waiting for her husband. Lashon shomeres yovam ribum. It's it's the concept of the woman who's waiting for her yibum. She's like a bride that's bejeweled and waiting for her wedding to the yibum. So shmura can be the language of mikushetes. Melashon v'aviv shamaras hadavar, and it's from the language of how Yaakov waited for this dream of Yosef that he was going to become king. So it doesn't just mean he waited, guarded it. It means that he held that as a precious, bejeweled thing to him. He found it was like a precious gem to him, that idea. B'medrash Rabbah Vayeshev, Ruach HaKodesh Umeres, Shamor HaDvarim Shasidim Liga. And in Medrash Rabbah Vayeshev, it says about this, that Ruach HaKodesh says, guard these things that are going to reach in the future. Megam Yishlomar Perush V'aviv, and we can also say, what does it mean his father guarded this thing? Because it doesn't say Yaakov, it says his father. Hainu Chachmai La Shamar Asadavar, guarded the thing, guarded the davar. Shehi Malchus, the word or the davar refers to Malchus. Shetiya bebechinas shmura, that she should be guarded. Valderech bas avihi, like the concept of the daughter of the father. And his garbe parshas Emor Daf Kuf Amud Beis, Zimna denot lamin beyaba, in the time when it's taken from the house of the father. So the concept of zivug is on Shabbos and not on Yom Tov. Why? Because when the daughter is taken from the house of the father, not in the house of the mother. Look in the Biyoria Zohar about that idea. But in general, it's the concept of Chachmai Law, guards Malchus, and therefore you have the Yichud Zivug. So Aviv Shamaras Hadavar. So again, the father prepares the Kala, bejewels her for the Yichud, the Chachman to Malchus. Look what it says about how by the Luchos it says Shamur and Zachor in one statement. So also there's a concept of Shmira in the Luchos. Vine b'matzah zuksiv. Now about this matzah it says, because we still haven't gotten to the matzah after chatzos, that doesn't need shimur, because it's milamayla, but we're talking still about the matzah that needs the shimur. So this matzah, it says that you have to eat it with maror, bechinas merirus, the concept of bitterness, me'orer hamshachas rachamim rabim, awakens, drawing down the great mercies, that through this you can come to the concept of nullifying your will. Now in the 13 attributes of mercy, you have two concepts, the external and the inner. The inner 13 attributes are great mercies, Vayikra kashem tov chulu, and are called the good oil, alazakan chulu, upon the beard, Visham shorish Abba, and there you have rooted the parts of Abba. Vichitzon yusam hasairos, and the external concept of the Yud Gimel Midos are the hairs, Shehem dinim, that are judgments, Shebehem shorish ima, that in them is the root of parts of ima. Chen kasavaramaz of Parshas Korach b'dibur hamaschil v'kad mikasya vein vatzalomar dinim mamosh, and we're not really talking about actual judgments. Sharei hem levanim kislag chivar, because these hairs of the Yud Gimel Midos are white like snow, but we're only saying in comparison to the inner concept of the Yud Gimel Midos, she'ein sham din klal, that there's no judgment at all, nikra bechinas Dodi. They're called my beloved. Kein muchrach memashikos v'ramaz b'zeh b'parshas Vayikra tel zayin amud beis b'parshas Emor tzadik dalad beis. I'm not sure how Dodi is connected to the union of dinim. Valkein kedei lahamshich hagiloi liyud gimel midos harachamim tzarich lios tchila b'chinas mirirus, and therefore, in order to awaken the 13 attributes of mercy, you first have to have the bitterness, shein gvuros de kedusha, which are the strengths of holiness. I guess you have to have the chitzonius of, you have to draw down first the chitzonius of the Yud Gimel Midos, the dinim, so to speak, the cyros, before you get to the pnimius, the shorish of Abba. So through the merirus, b'zeh machnia hadinim, and with this you subdue the judgments, v'yumshach gilu Yud Gimel Midos, and you draw down the revelation of the 13 attributes, af sheish behem bechinas din, even if they have in them a concept of judgment. And afterwards, through this, you can draw down the matzah, shuhu me'aba, which comes from the pnimius, which is rooted in the pnimius of Yud Gimel Midos, which is the matzah, which is parts of Abba, sheshur shum pnimius Yud Gimel Midos canal, which is rooted in the inner concept of the Yud Gimel Midos. Look what it says about this beer in Menorah Zav. Vayazeh shekaz b'zor chel gimel kuf samech aleph alei zayis taraf, where it talks about the Yonah that has the branch of the olive that it rips from the tree, Damashicha, that refers to Mashiach. Ki azayis nimshach Hashem hatov, that from the olive comes the good oil. That is through crushing the olive first, like we're saying here, the bitterness reaches the concept of the high level in Yud Gimel Midos. And that's the concept of that it's ripped in its mouth, like it says by Mashiach, that he's sick from avonosenu. That meaning to say that he has some, like the concept of a treifa as a sick animal. So Mashiach is sick in a similar way. So that's the crushed concept of the olive, that like a crushed olive. So Mashiach is mechulal, because he's this concept of the Yud Gimel Midos of Keser, the oil that drips on the beard. It's Mashiach, the Mashiach, the Shemana Mishcha. Shkasabi biur ezor balak kabe migvos chulu. Vegam hazayis yesh bo meriros, and also the olive has bitterness. V'hainu mashis marmer al richuko mehavaya. That is that you are bitter from being far from Hashem. Kamo shkasabi dibur maskal baloscha. V'zeu inyan v'yimararuhu v'robu chulu. V'atesha beitan kashto chulu. That's the concept of that you embittered him. This is about Yosef. That his arrow, that his bow, sat in a strong place. Bechinas Eitan, who gavoha ma'od is very high. The concept of Eitan refers to the Etzem HaNeshama. K'moshikazu maskila Eitan, like it says maskila Eitan, it's a concept of the koach hamaskil sheb'neshama, or the Eitan, the Etzem. So that comes from Vayimararuhu v'rovu v'ateshav Eitan. That is that you're me'ora this level from the merirus. Then he merited this through first having that he was embittered, that Yosef reached the concept of malchus through the bitterness that he went through. And specifically through this, his bow sat with strength with the Eitan. Keshes hatfila, and what's this bow? That refers to the prayer. That his prayer reached up on high to Eitan. Like it says, that I took from Shechem with my sword and my bow, which is with my prayer and supplication. And the concept of the bow is that you have to pull back. That's the concept of being far away first before you shoot the arrow. Like the concept of the shuruk of my son, the supple branch. By and through this you shoot the arrow, which are the letters of prayer that travel with a great force, very far, that can go up all the way, can reach up on high through being pulled back and so to speak, like the bitterness that reaches up high. And that's why it says by Chana that she was bitter of soul, and through this she prayed upon Havaya, higher than to the level beyond the Shem Havaya. And look what's brought about, the concept of how Esther sat in the oil of myrrh, the myrrh oil. So myrrh is also from the language of mar. So that's before she goes to the king. She has to have first the merirus and then the besami. Perhaps like we're saying here, that there's two levels in Yud Gimel Midos, the Chitzonis and the Pnimis. And the Chitzonis comes through merirus. And therefore the maror needs to be like an olive. That's the amount, because it needs to be like this bitterness of the crushing of the olive. To draw down the concept of like the good oil, pnimis bezayis chulu, the inner and of the inner part of the olive that you get through crushing. Mevor betanya perek lamed aleph shebechinas lev nishbar merirus hanefesh al richuka enu nikra b'shem atzvus klal. Now, so it's brought in Tanya that the concept of the broken heart and the bitterness of soul, all being for being far away from Hashem, is not called depression at all. But it's from the holy strengths that it's an energy to want to get closer because you feel far away. Like it says in the Torah about the concept of mirari, which is the spiritual bitterness. Shehu Nibifinas Hagvuros, and it's from the mirari comes from the strengths. Vuhu Bechinas Mirirus Hanal, which is this bitterness. Kamoshikazub Dibura Maschil Suas Rosh, Bedibura Maschil Naso. Al-Kinirish is a Hu'inyan, Hemini Nirakos. And so we could say that that's the concept of the 5 different types of greens. That you can fulfill your obligation on Pesach of Maror. Chazeres Chulu, like the romaine lettuce, Shem Bechinas Hegvurus Hanal, that these 5 different greens are the 5 judgments, the 5 strictnesses. He doesn't mention it, but there's the Hey Alin Tekifin that surround the Shoshana. Also, even though there's the Yud Gimel Osios, the Yud Gimel Tevos of Reshis, from one Elohim to the other, that guard the Shoshana. There's also the Hey Gvurus, the Hey Alin Tekifin. Mash'enkin Mechinas Lana. So that's which is not the case with the idea of Lana, which is some kind of poison. Zomrirus de Klippas Noga. That's the bitterness of the Klippas Noga or the Gimel Klippos of the 3 Klippos. It's not the bitterness that's of a vegetable that you can eat. It's a stronger bitterness that you don't want to have. Because of Shoresh Porerosh Vilana, like it says, a root of Rosh and Lana. Rosh being another type of bitter. Like a Moshekas, Bemedrash Echal, Pasuk is Biani Bimirurim, Hirvani Lana. Like it's brought in Medrash Echal about that he satiated me with bitters, and I was satiated with the Lana. The Lana is the Leil Tisha B'Av Shnikra Yom Mar. That Lana is the night of Tisha B'Av, which is called the bitter day. V'zeu v'adai shlita sa klipa, and that's certainly the ruling of the klipa. V'ayim bepardi serach mara. Look what's about the part is about the part of the body that's called the mara. I guess it's the liver, the spleen. I'm not sure. No, the liver is kaved, so mora is something else. Which is not the case with bitters. So lana is leil Tisha B'Av. Mirorim is leil aleph to Pesach. That's the first night of Pesach. Shetoim hamarirus is that you taste the bitterness me'arichuk from being far away. Vezeu gvuros de kedusha, and that's the strictnesses of holiness. It's interesting that he juxtaposes Tisha B'Av and Pesach. There's two opposites. Two types of bitterness. And all of this is still in the matzah that's before midnight, but through being revealed to them the king of the kings of the kings. Then you can't have the chametz. Then it wasn't able to rise. It didn't have time to rise. It wasn't able to become chametz at all. You don't have to have the maror. I guess the afikomen we don't eat with maror. You don't have to have the same kind of shmira like you do with the first matzah. Because then you have the revelation of the inner concept of the 13 attributes of mercy. That don't have any judgment at all. And similarly, you can understand the concept of rich matzah. That's been mixed with oil, which is the concept of the good oil that goes on the beard. This concept of the Mashiach, the pnimis, that you get through the crushing of the olive. So to the concept of wine that's guarded. Like good a wine that sits on its dregs. The concept of mochastima, again a concept of pnimis hakesa. Vidvash ava b'tanugim chulu, and the concept of honey is a love of pleasures. So we're talking about matzah shira, shini losha b'shemen, b'yayin or b'dvash. So that could be mixed with oil or wine or honey. All these things are the very high level concepts of inkeser that the matzah can reach up to. When it's matzah shira, then is a very high level of the matzah. And it's also rooted in the strengths of atik, the concept of ava b'tanugim, vurus da'atik. V'chein b'chalav chivarti da'atik achulu. So too, if you mix the matzah with milk, is also called matzah shira. That refers to the kindnesses, the whiteness of atik. V'chol b'chinos elu zeu al yidei Hatorah. And all of these aspects to reach this high level of rich matzah, that's through Torah, shenikra yain v'shemen v'dvash v'chalav. That's called all these things, wine and oil and honey and milk. V'ef shalomar beis b'chinos matzah nal. Shehu inyan Shabbos Tata v'Shabbos Ilah. We can say that the two concepts of the lower Shabbos and the higher Shabbos. Remember, we said he brought the concept of Shomer v'Zachor, that there's a concept of Shmira by Shabbos as well, and there's a concept of Zechira, two inyanim in Shabbos. And look what it says about the Marach Samach Bela, the double cave, Beis HaHei the Shem Chulu, which refers to the two Heys of Hashem's name, the lower Hey and the higher Hey. V'hem Gamkin Beis HaHei Sheb'shnei Bechinos Matzah Anal, and they're the two concepts of the two Heys and the two kinds of matzah. Kitzer, Inyan Matzah Shmura, Bechinas Kishoshana Chulu. The concept of matzah that's guarded is the concept of the rose that's guarded, that needs to be guarded from the thorns. Kam Shimur al derech v'aviv shamar. So to Shmira is like the concept of his father guarded the thing, that it was precious to him. Gam al derech has Shabbosos Shmuru. Similarly, you have to guard my Shabbos. I guess the Shabbosos is the two Shabbosos to Tani La. The Ovder L'Shamra, the L'Shamra refers to the mitzvahs Losasei. V'inyan HaMaror Alizayis, we talked about the concept of Maror and how it corresponds with the broken branch of the olive. So I guess the Maror on Pesach also corresponds with the concept of Mashiach. V'yamaru, and V'yamaru v'rovu, that by Yosef it says that he was embittered. V'ateshe beitan. V'yimaras, and the by Chana that she was bitter. And through the concept of tefillah, that's like an arrow that shoots. And through this you draw down a very high level. And the concept of the second matzah that doesn't need maror, inyan matzah shira, and the concept of the rich matzah, which is this very high level. We can also awaken to the idea that's brought by understanding the brachos. Adam in sarich chosem v'shimur k'mo bracha shnia. That bracha is a simple bracha that doesn't need a beginning and an end, a seal and guarding like the second bracha of the Sheva brachos. And then and so forth.